Folks, there are two things I love in this world, cute cats and cute decor, and today we are combining them both to create the world's cutest feeder station. Folks, welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. This is a very special episode for the freaks and the felines. You hear her? You guys have long requested a pet DIY, and I'm happy to say that this is the episode where you are gonna get it. If you've been following the channel, you know that I recently made over my dining room, I made over my kitchen, but I am not the only one who uses my kitchen because I have a very special roommate. Come on. And her name is Baguette. You want a treat? Baguette is a star of the channel. She makes frequent appearances. She is one of the 20% of orange tabbies that is actually female. Show them how cute you are. Okay. We love Baguette, and I wanted her to have a little dining area that was as cute and adorable as the rest of the kitchen dining room area is. We are gonna level it up by creating an elevated feeding station that looks like, what? An antique fruit cart. And full disclosure, I have seen some sort of versions of these out in the wild for cats or for dogs, so I can't claim it as a totally original idea, but I am excited to give our own little original twist to it. Let's make it. So the plan here is to create an antique looking old-timey fruit cart food stand in kitty size. So to start, I have found this simple little wood box. I got this at Daiso. You guys have seen a million of these around. You can source them from wherever. It actually had a clear little top I took off, and we're gonna start by taking off all the little hardware because I'm not sure if I'm gonna use both parts of it, but we'll start with the world's tiniest screws. Seriously, they're so little. And the front. Okay, now it does have this little inner piece here, but I'm gonna pull this out because we're just gonna start from scratch. Goodbye. Okay, we have our box and we are gonna re-glue this, but first we need to put in the little holes that are gonna hold our little 4 kind of tent poles for the cart. And I grabbed 2 little pieces of dowel that we're gonna cut down to make our little tent poles. But first we're gonna screw 4 holes in 4 corners where those need to fit through. Ooh, 4 holes. And now, moment of truth, will these fit through? Perfect. All right, now we're gonna cut these down to 13-inch little strips. What I do is I clamp a piece of wood exactly where I need to cut, and that helps me ensure that my cut is perfect. Boom, we got all 4. But we're not gonna put them in yet because we're gonna wood glue this little guy back in. And of course, we do still have these screw holes, so we are going to just add a little bit of wood filler into those. Ooh, do you see? And we're also actually gonna run a little bit along the seam where we just wood glued all those pieces together. And we're gonna set that aside to dry. And guess who just came in? Would you like to say anything to the people? No? Just curious? Okay. Okay, while this dries, we are gonna work on the next portion, which is our little wheels for the fruit cart. And we're gonna make those out of what? Coasters. Look at these perfectly proportioned wheel coasters. Now, ideally, I would be able to cut out the spokes of these, but honestly, it's just too much trouble. So we're just gonna paint in a fake little wagon wheel. And I'm just gonna use little washi tape to fake the little spoke effect so that it ultimately looks like this. How cute, I know. And we are just gonna paint the interiors of these white because we're gonna go back in and make those spokes in black. Tape pulling, ooh. Now I'm gonna go back in and reverse tape so that we can tape in our little black lines. Do you see that? Reverse tape. And paint time. And we're back, and now I'm gonna tape peel these to see where we're at and what we need to clean up, because I'm sure we do need to clean up. Boom. Okay, we will need to touch these up, but I'm also gonna paint the rim of this to give it that full little tire look. While those dry, we are going to paint, hold please. I got a little box lid, and I have a pen. And I'm just gonna stab some holes. And then we can stand these up in them. And that way, ooh, I'm framed. I can 360 paint them. Definitely gotta make sure there's no drips, but overall I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, we're gonna let these guys dry and we will come back for those. All right, guys, these are dry. And one last thing I'm gonna do that is kind of unnecessary, but I'm still gonna do it, is I have these tiny little wood pieces and I am gonna glue those in the middle as though they're the axle or whatever. I don't know if you guys can even see, they were kind of unnecessary, but I still wanted to do them. So anyways, we're gonna work on the actual little cart section. We have our actual little box. We're all nicely sanded down. Everything's nice and smooth. We have our little holes for the little poles. And now we are going to cut a circle in the center so that we can drop in this little food bowl, boom, and it can be one nice like flush piece. Now, if you wanted to do this at home yourself, make sure to get a food dish that has a little bit of a lip. That way it can rest in there and not fall all the way through. So I'm just using a little template here and I'm gonna cut a circle that is slightly smaller than that lip. Boom. Not gonna lie, this is a little loosey-goosey, but I'd rather it be too small than too big. And now, we're gonna clamp this down. And I'm gonna use a drill and a jigsaw to cut this out. And this is very thin wood, so we need to be very delicate and careful because it will chip a little bit. So I'm gonna start by drilling a starter hole in the side and then taking the jigsaw in to cut the circle around. All right, guys, moment of truth. Does it fit? Yes, okay. I think I see a little side point where it needs to be sanded down. Now, before we paint, we do need to do one other thing. We are going to trace out the awning that is going to go on our little poles. So I'm just gonna trim up this piece of poster board really quickly. All right, I'm gonna center this. And I know that these are like about 3 inches. So I'm also gonna add 3 inches here. We are essentially making a template that we are going to cut and fold. So basically it looks like this, and we're gonna like fold in the sides. But first we're gonna paint this to get it drying. And of course we're going with a little pink to match Baguette's little pink nose. Show them your little pink nose. Okay. Okay, get back. And back to the awning. Okay, now the plan here is to do an adorable little awning with a little scallop trim. So we're gonna draw out the scallop trim, but first I'm just gonna lightly, not cut, but score along the fold lines so that I know that these are easy to fold. Okay, nice, cute. See how it's gonna sit? So cute. Now it's scallop time. Okay, and not only are we going to do a little awning, we're also going to do these in stripes. So I am just marking out my little stripe points all across. Ooh, so pretty. And I'm just using a little curved something. This is just a bit of washi tape I chose because I can use it to line up and trace the little scallop edge. That way we can cut out a consistent point all around. And then it's cut time. Look at that cute little edge. And now we're gonna tape off to paint off. Boom. And I will say, guys, when you're doing stripes, checkers, anything like that, make sure to go ahead and mark an X where certain colors are going, especially if you're doing an every other, because it's very easy to get confused and mess that up. And also, for the record, we have a what moment of joy because it is going to perfectly every other the color all the way around. Yes. All right, this little cutie is back. Very darling, very pink. And we're gonna add another little fun, unnecessary detail to this in the form of a little bit of like fake molding. So I'm gonna use washi tape to paint this design on. This way I don't have to measure anything. I can just use the washi tape width as a guide. And then I'm using the width of this other washi tape to create the interior. And we're gonna hit that with a cute coat of our white. Ready? Is this all in one? Okay, adorable. But you might be wondering, why did I leave the corners blank? And that is because I want to do a cute little swoop just like this. Okay, adorable. This cat better appreciate how cute this is. Okay, what are we doing next? We have our adorable little box and we have our 4 little sticks. So here's how we're gonna do this. First, we're gonna construct our little awning. By the way, I did paint the top pink because we needed to. Okay. In hindsight, I should have created tabs that would like fold in, but we just didn't do that. Actually, maybe we can still do it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna use these big tabs. I'm gonna hot glue one to the inside here. Hope you can see. Here's the little tab, and then it can hot glue to the other one. All right, here we go. Great. We're basically making little like corner brackets. Okay, guys, absolutely adorable. Alrighty, now it is time to add our wheels, but I'm not quite sure where this is gonna go and we might have a little clearance issue. So I'm gonna do it a little bit higher than normal. And we're just adding this on with hot glue. I'm using the same marker on this side. Okay, it's getting cute. And now we can add in all of our little poles. Okay, and of course we have to make sure it's level. So I'm trying to figure out which way these need to go. It's like these guys need to come up a little bit. That's perfect. Okay, now to anchor all of these in where they are, I'm just gonna go underneath and I'm gonna hot glue around the bases to kind of fill them in and sort of anchor them. And now for the final touch, we have, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I can't stand it. You guys have already seen too much. So I'm gonna put in the bowl and now we are going to see what the Queen Diva actually thinks of her new food cart. Guys, I've been trying to get a reveal shot of her eating for over an hour. She's finally doing it. You guys, this is so cute. I'm so happy for her, so happy for us. And now we have to get her final review. Well, Kitty, what do you think? Do you love it? Do you think that maybe it was more for me than for you? Okay, fine. But just know that I love you and you're perfectly blocking my shot. By the way, a few things I wanted to mention after the fact. Number one, I made sure that the feeding station was kind of chest height or lower so that she wouldn't strain her neck going up or down. Number two, I coated it in a clear polyurethane, which although it is not perfectly food safe, she doesn't gnaw on wood or anything like that. So it's basically the equivalent of us eating a bowl off of a sealed table. So I had so much fun doing this project. If there are other pet-friendly DIYs you would be curious to see, please comment them below. I have some other ideas cooking that we might see on the channel eventually. But if you enjoyed this, please feel free to like and subscribe. Baguette appreciates every view count we can get. Isn't that right?